All right, it's time to do our NFL predictions for the divisional round of the playoffs. I will do a recap of the wild card round. Brady got double points. He picked Houston over the Chargers. Ethan and I both went with the Chargers, so Brady ended up getting 10 points for that. Double points. If you pick a matchup and the other two do not pick that matchup, or you pick a winner and the other two do not pick that winner, you get double points. And it was 10 points. These were 5 points per pick. We all picked Baltimore beating Pittsburgh, which was wonderful because I hate Pittsburgh. We all got 5 points for that. We also all picked Buffalo over Denver, and we all picked Philly over Green Bay. So no surprises with those three. Ethan and I went with the Washington Commanders. Brady went with the hometown Buccaneers. And so Ethan and I both got 5 points. Brady got nothing. And then I got the upset Monday night football game. I went with the Los Angeles Rams over Minnesota. Minnesota's great, and I like them. They not always, but they usually do good in the regular season and then lose in the playoffs, and that's exactly what happened. I went with the Rams. The boys took Minnesota. So, all the way through the playoffs and through the wild card round, Ethan has 185. My rating's not great there. Brady has 181. And I have 196. So, on to the divisional round, Saturday's games. You got the Houston Texans traveling to Kansas City. I would love to see the Texans win this. I love C.J. Stroud, and they're big time the underdog. But Kansas City, I think they're going to move on to their 7th or 8th AFC championship in a row. If Houston plays like they did the second half of last week, there could be a chance of that. Kansas City, they lost one. Really, they lost two, but technically they lost one because they set everybody the last week of the year. But there's a lot of games they almost lost. I don't know if that's dangerous or not because they always find a way to win, but they weren't blowing everybody out. So we'll see what happens, but we all took Kansas City. The late night Saturday night game, Washington Commanders against the Lions. And, of course, I didn't mention, Ethan, Brady, and I make our picks. Lincoln also likes to make his picks. I don't always put those in there. He went with Houston on this one. And then moving on to the late night game, Brady went with the Commanders. What a big upset this would be. Detroit has looked great all year. I took Detroit. Ethan took Detroit. And Lincoln all took the Lions winning. Really, honestly, I'm at the point now, whoever can beat the Eagles, because I can't stand Philadelphia, as long as Kansas City and Philly lose, I'm cool with anybody else winning and going to the Super Bowl. I'll be honest with you. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the Giants, and I don't like the Commanders, or what used to be the Redskins. Growing up, I didn't like any of those three teams. However, the Eagles, I don't know, there's just something about the Eagles that makes me hate them, not hate them in a football sense, more than the other two. Because when the Giants took on the Patriots, I rooted for the Giants. They were the underdog and couldn't stand Brady and the Patriots. So I rooted for the Giants. But when the Eagles played the Chiefs a couple years ago, I couldn't bring myself to root for the Eagles. Washington, however, they haven't been good for years, even before the Cowboys were really good. So I don't have a problem with them as much. So I wouldn't mind for them to win. However, I just want the Eagles to lose. I'm going Detroit. Ethan, Lincoln, going Detroit. Sunday's games, you got the Rams at Philly. We talk about wanting the Eagles to lose, but I don't think they will. The Rams have something to play for with all the tragedy that's taken place in Los Angeles. And, of course, they've been playing really good the last couple months. So it's not impossible for them to beat Philly, but we all went with Philly winning anyway. Baltimore at Buffalo, by far the game of the week on paper. Myself, Ethan, went with the Baltimore Ravens. Brady and Lincoln took the Buffalo Bills. I'm fine either way. Brady is a Ravens fan, even though he picked Buffalo. Buffalo always finds a way to lose, kind of like Minnesota does. So we'll see what happens as long as they beat the Chiefs the following week. I would have loved for Kansas City to face either Baltimore or Buffalo this week, because then they'd have to probably beat Baltimore and then Buffalo. But Houston's kind of I shouldn't say it, but it's kind of a gimme week. They're kind of moving on to the AFC Championship. Enjoy the divisional round of the playoffs. We'll be back next week with the conference round.